Hey everyone, welcome to this video about affirmations, what I think about them, what my favorites are, and what I think they are actually useful for, and what I think they are not useful for. I want to start this video off by saying that I used to really not like affirmations, and I want to explain to you why, so that you understand what mindset not to take with affirmations. When I first started engaging in spirituality, I was very focused on the witchcraft side of things, on the magical side of things, on the spell work. We always feel like we have to do something, like we have to be active. And you know, I'm not really one of those love and light people. I'm not really a love and light kind of witch. It's just not my approach. And I think that it's important to know that this resistance to affirmations for me came from a place of wanting to control everything. Because when it comes to witchcraft, when it comes to spell work, a lot of it is about focused attention. It's about visualization. It's about having an intention and putting your mind to it, focusing all of your thoughts on it. And that is a very active thing that you do and a very kind of controlling thing. You're trying to control the energies around you in order to achieve a certain goal. I was influenced by this very heavily back then, and I felt like I always needed to be laser focused in order to achieve what I wanted. Of course, I wasn't always laser focused, who is? But I thought that that was just the way that it worked, you know? And affirmations didn't quite fit in with this. But there is an issue with this approach to magic, with this approach that you always have to have a very firm intention, a very controlling attitude towards the outcome. And with the words that I'm using, you can probably already tell what the issue is, because you don't surrender, you don't allow for things to evolve on their own. You don't have the patience for the environment that you need in order to reach your goals to develop. You don't have the patience for that. You want it to happen immediately. You want to control the outcome completely, and you want to control what the steps are that you are taking towards the outcome. And it doesn't quite work that way, as it turns out, because what that means is you want control. You start micromanaging everything. You don't surrender at all. You make lists. You try to solve everything by yourself. You have a lack of trust that things will be okay. You have a lack of trust in whatever you believe in. Insert here the universe, God, goddess, any deities. You have a lack of trust that it will work out on its own. You believe that they are an accompaniment to your practical actions, maybe, and that they are a necessary accompaniment, but you still think that your physical action is the most important thing and that you can control it, that lists help you, and that fake affirmations don't help at all. Now, there is some truth to this, because obviously we always need balance. You can't just say that you have a goal, start visualizing, and expect it to happen. You also have to do things in the physical realm in order for it to happen most of the time. And this is where I think I found out where affirmations really work for me, because they work for me in a context where I need to surrender and need to develop trust and not holding on too tightly to any result that I want to achieve. And where this is the case is, for example, shadow work, any sort of self-reflection, self-development work, self-exploration, because there the result that you want to achieve is a lot more metaphysical and philosophical. You know what I mean? So it's not about getting a new job, getting a new car, getting a new house, or anything like that. It's more of a self-development process where the end goal isn't as defined. For example, you may know that you want to activate your emotional thinking more than your logical thinking, and this is what you want to train yourself to do. Or you may want to develop a stronger sense of self-love, or maybe you want to reduce your anxiety on a daily level, on a daily basis. And those goals are different from the things that we need to do, physical things to achieve them. Of course, we need to actively do things and actively work on ourselves and be present and aware. But I feel like affirmations can play a really big part here, because repeating certain sentences to you that resonate with you, it does do something to you. It does. And I used to believe that it doesn't, or I used to feel very like, oh, when I said them, because it made me feel all light and lovey-dovey. And that's just not my thing, you know? But as I'm exploring them more, I'm finding the style of affirmation that works for me personally. And sometimes that bleeds into very usual affirmations as well, because there's different styles, you know, there's different goals. Some people really like affirmations that are just, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am worthy. Personally, I like to make them a little bit more complicated and a little bit more tuned towards what I specifically need. So to give you an example, picture a person who learns that their fear of commitment has to do with the way they grew up, in a way where maybe their parents separated when they were 10 or 12 or 13, and at that point they understood very much that relationships aren't forever, and that in them built doubt, it built a lack of trust in relationships, in relations to other humans, so that they develop a fear of committing because they are afraid that it will break off eventually. Now, this person will have very different affirmations from someone who is afraid of commitment because their parents separated when they were 2 years old, or they have a fear of commitment because their first relationship didn't work out right, or they have a fear of commitment because they've never been in a relationship and it seems like this thing that sucks the life out of you from the outside. You know, there's so many different reasons why we struggle with things. And with this example, I just want to show that affirmations aren't really one size fits all. Certainly there are really cool ones that are helpful for everyone, but in the end you have to be very specific, or you don't have to be, but it helps if you are very specific, specifically tuning them towards where the root cause of your issue is, so that you know why you are saying these words and you know why they make sense to you. So some of the issues that you can work on with affirmations in shadow work are, for example, if you struggle with anxiety or panic, if you feel undervalued by others, if you undervalue yourself constantly, if you feel misunderstood a lot, if you feel lonely a lot, if you don't like opening up to others, if you're afraid of change, all of these things you can work on with affirmations as a supporting mechanism, because the way you have to do your shadow work is that you have to keep being aware of what you're working on, and you keep having to check your behavior, and affirmations kind of prime you for that in the beginning of the day, for example. So the ones I've listed are very common struggles that writing affirmations specifically tailored towards you can be immensely helpful with. And in order to show you what good affirmations to me, helpful affirmations to me look like, I will now tell you some of my favorites. Some of these I've used myself, others I just think are very well written. And I think some of them are more general and others are very, very specific, tailored towards specific topics. So as you say these, they are supposed to give you a good feeling in your heart. Often they make you smile. And you know, this is where the whole love and light thing comes in that I have some resistance to. That's why saying some of these on camera is gonna be a bit weird for me, because it's a very like, I don't know, it feels very wholesome, and I'm not necessarily a wholesome person all the time. So let's do this. This first one is an absolute favorite of mine. I keep my heart soft and open. I keep my heart soft and open. I will put the name of the person who wrote these next to the quote so that you know where these came from. Now, this one is an amazing one against anxiety, against that convulsion that you get when you close off, when you're becoming anxious. And it just brings you into a place of softness, of openness. That's why I really like it. The second one is also an absolute favorite. I invite easy and surprising solutions into my life. I invite easy and surprising solutions into my life. And even as I'm saying these, they're already calming me down. It has made me so much more relaxed, this one, and made me accept and surrender things I cannot control. And I feel like it has actually helped me resolve some things, to let go and to just chill out, you know. The third affirmation I have is, I have faith that my creations will bring in blessings for me and those I love. I have faith that my creations will bring in blessings for me and those that I love. So this is mostly for creativity. This is if you doubt your creativity, if you doubt that you can make enough money with your side hustle, if you are confused about what you want to do with your life, you don't really have a lot of faith in what you create. That's what this one is for. The fourth one is, I am surrounded by the healing and protective energy of the universe. I am surrounded by the healing and protective energy of the universe. So this one, when I say it, it really makes me feel powerful. It makes me feel supported. And it's kind of going in the love and light direction, but that's fine. You know, whatever the fuck works, whatever the fuck makes you feel better. So yeah, as you can see, I now have to cuss a little bit to make up for the, for the very sweet affirmation that I just said. So the next one is, I surrender to the magnitude of my own dreams. I surrender to the magnitude of my own dreams. This is also for when you feel maybe a little bit anxious about what you're dreaming of, what you want to achieve, and you feel like there's too many steps, you know? You kind of want to accept that there's little steps that you have to take and that it's a big picture that you're working on. Next one is, I find gratitude for all the ways I am blessed and supported. I find gratitude for all the ways I am blessed and supported. This is a very general one that you can use. You could also be more specific about what you're grateful for, but this one kind of gets you into a headspace. You could, for example, say this right before you start gratitude journaling, writing down what you're grateful for. And to prime yourself, you say this affirmation and then you start writing down what you're actually grateful for. The next one is, I embrace the chaos and beauty of transformation. I embrace the chaos and beauty of transformation. There's not much to be said about this. Transformation can be painful, it can be scary, and this affirmation helps you realize that there's also beauty in it. And now the last one is, I feel calm and certainty that what is right for me will always appear. I feel calm and certainty that what is right for me will always appear. Now, this is for anyone who gets anxious about missing out, you know, FOMO, about that gnawing feeling that you're missing something, that you're not doing everything you can. And this is just about relinquishing that, about not really relinquishing responsibility. That's not what we want to do, but it's just to calm your mind a little bit and to remind you that it's okay and that the opportunities that you need will come to you in a way that is right for you, and you don't always have to strive and hustle and wreck yourself in order to achieve them. Now, I want to leave you by saying that it can be really simple to write your own affirmations. Maybe I'll make another video about that, or I will make one about more specifically how I use affirmations. Let me know if that would be interesting for you, and let me know what your favorite affirmation is, because I love seeing new ones. But for now, I want to also say that you can do really simple ones by simply saying, I cultivate X in everything I do. I cultivate deep connection in everything I do. I cultivate curiosity in everything I do. I cultivate love in everything I do. So if you feel like you're lacking something, that is a very easy way to try and bring that in, to get yourself into the right mind space and head space in the beginning of the day, to act in alignment with what you want to achieve and what you want to bring yourself into, what energy you want to bring yourself into, and what you want to give out into the world. Let me know your favorite affirmations for sure, whether they are useful for you, not so useful for you, whether you use them in your practice, think that they are bullshit, think that they're great. I would love to get a conversation going about that, to get like different perspectives from different witches, different spiritual people. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging with me. If you would subscribe to me and dwell in my domain a little longer, that would make me very happy. I will also link my Patreon where you can support me, and my Instagram. There's lots of journaling prompts, live videos, and all that good jazz. So check it out right now if you feel called to, and I will see you very, very soon.